Hey, what's up everyone? In today's video, we're gonna learn how to debug programs like a god. So make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. So for today's video, we're gonna revisit lesson 1 where we talked about the print function. As a quick refresher, the print function is used to output a value. So in most cases, when you write code, you're not gonna know what the output of a value is unless if you build some sort of UI, which is short for user interface, aka something that you can see on a screen through a website or an app. So when you're building a program without UI, you're basically screwed. Nani? Nah, I'm just kidding. So that's basically where the print function will come in handy. Now let's go through a quick example together. So here I have a program that takes in a list of numbers and it finds the max number inside it. So here I call print find max number and I pass it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if I click run, we're gonna get 5, which is the biggest number inside this list. For those of you who are new, this may seem like magic, but don't worry, let's break this down. When I first started to learn how to code, I struggled a lot with trying to figure out how a program works. And the thing that helped me the most was to add print statements everywhere. Even though it may seem silly, it will help you a lot at the beginning. And later on, when you get better at coding, you probably don't need as many comments. So let's start by adding a comment. So let's do print, and then we can say calling function find max number with, and here we can pass the valued numbers inside the string by using an F string. To do this, we just add an F in front of the quotation marks. And then inside the string, we can add these squiggle brackets. And inside the squiggle brackets, we can just put numbers. And now if we click run, you're going to see in the output, it's going to say calling function find max number with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, just by adding this print statement, our program is becoming less ambiguous. And now let's add more print statements to help us debug this program. So let's add one here where we say setting current max to 0. And then here, let's do print looping through the list of numbers. And then here we can add another line. And now let's print out what the value of n is. So now we can say checking the current number. And then here we could put n inside to see if it is greater than, and then here we put current max. And then if this case is true, we can add another statement and just do print. And here we can say updating current max to, and then here we could put n, and don't forget the F for the F string. And now let's run the program. So here you see calling function find max number with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, setting current max to 0, looping through the list of numbers, checking the current number 1 to see if it's greater than 0, and then updating current max to 1 because 1 is greater than 0. And then next is checking the number, which is 2, which is greater than 1, and then it updates it to 2. And finally, at the end, it sees 5, and then it updates it to 5. As you can see, now we're getting a step-by-step tutorial of how this algorithm works. And now I can also change these numbers up, and it will still work. So let's do 8, 4, 7, 10, 3, and 4. And now let's run the program. So here we call our function with 8, 4, 7, 10, 3, 4, and we set the current max to 0. And then first, we see 8, which is greater than 0. So our current max is 8. Then we see 4, which is not greater than 8. 7 is not greater than 8. Then we see a 10, which is greater than 8. So we update our max to 10. And then here we see our number is 3, which is not greater than 10. 4, which is not greater than 10. And then finally, we return the value 10. So there you go. Whenever you see a program that you don't understand, feel free to add as many print statements as you want. The code may look ugly, but at least you're going to understand what's going on. Cool, that was pretty fun, right? But obviously in the real world, you're not gonna write as many comments because it's gonna make your code very bulky. So instead, you'd rather put comments where it matters the most. So let's go through a real life example together. So a while back, I created a video teaching people how to automate downloading TikTok videos. And to my surprise, a lot of people got stuck and they asked a lot of questions. So initially the code looked like this. There wasn't a lot of print statements or anything like that. I tried adding some comments to try to explain what's going on, but then people still ended up getting stuck and running into errors. A lot of people were dropping their error messages into the comments, and it's very hard to make sense of these error messages. So what I did to make my life easier so that way I can answer questions faster is that I added print statements to the program. So if you look here, I added this. Step 1, open Chrome browser. Step 2, scrolling the page. Step 3, time to download the number of videos. And then at the top, we have step 4, getting the download link. And this is usually where the program errors out. And then I added another statement. If this step fails, please read the steps above. So that way, when someone shows me their output, I know right away that they messed up and they didn't do the cookies and headers correctly. And then finally, we have step 5, saving the video. So if someone has reached this step, that just means that they did everything correctly and everything is working as expected. So basically, adding print statements to a program is super important for debugging. And especially when you're touching code that you've never seen before, it could be very daunting to try to understand the whole code base. So the easiest way to debug the program is by adding print statements everywhere, so that way you know how the code will flow. And one day when you work at a company, or maybe when you build a large program, you're going to want to add print statements at certain places, so that way when errors or crashes happen in a program, you're going to know how to resolve it very easily. And maybe sometimes when you're playing a game or using some website or some program, you'll probably get a crash and then you'll see an error message that asks you to send the error report. So basically inside an error report, it's just a bunch of these statements explaining each step of what's happening. So that way developers can figure out what happened so that they can resolve your issue. Anyways, I hope that this video was super helpful. And don't forget, if you ever get stuck and you don't understand what's going on in your program, just add print statements.